What's up, everybody? It's your boy Slim the Streamer back with another video. Smash that like button and subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get that out the way, please. Okay. All right. So let's talk about pre-built versus building your own PC. All right. Now, if you're new to the PC world, if you're coming from console gaming and stuff like that, or if you had a Switch or anything else other than an actual PC, right? Now, I'm not talking laptops or nothing, but an actual PC, and you're brand new to this. What should I do? Should I build my own PC or should I just go out and buy a pre-built PC? What should I do? Right. So let me go ahead and give you a quick video. It's not going to be a long drawn out video. It's going to take hours to explain. All right. So if you're not familiar with anything when it comes to PC specs, all right, if you're not have no knowledge of any of that type of stuff, right? You have no idea as far as what your sweet spot is. You have no idea what type of games you're playing, none of that stuff, right? So first thing you need to do is figure that part out first. Figure out what is your end goal when it comes to joining the PC gaming world, and what is your end goal to do? Are you trying to just play mid game titles such as Fortnite, or easier to play titles like The Sims, Fortnite, stuff like that, Counter-Strike 2, or are you looking to play just straight AAA titles? Are you looking to play mid-range gaming titles? Are you looking to buy a PC to just do straight VR gaming, period? Now, different categories when it comes to PC gaming, okay? You got a potato PC, which pretty much can run old to mid-range games such as, again, like I said, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, that type of stuff, right? Uh, may can push it to do Call of Duty and stuff like that, maybe on medium settings, but don't look for anything, you know, epic settings or anything like that. Don't no, that's not stop. Anyway, so you need to figure out what is your target goal is when it comes to jumping into PC gaming. Okay, you need to figure out what are you trying to do, what are you trying to play. Are you streaming? Are you going to be videoing, playing your games and stuff like that? Are you going to be doing VR? It's a lot of nuances when it comes to just PC gaming. Why? Because depending on your setup, okay, for one, money, time, and frustration. All right, it can save you a lot of money and time and frustration if you write out an actual plan to figure out what you're trying to do. Now, you may say, "Oh man, come on, Slim. Like I ain't, dude. It's just a gaming PC, right?" Well, yes and no. The whole gaming part of PC, let me tell you something. Gaming PCs are just like any other computer, right? They add the gaming portion to it to make it enticing for people to jump out and buy it. Yes, can a gaming PC do more than what a regular standard PC can do? Of course. I mean, there are some PCs that can still run regular games. That may not run great AAA titles, but again, you can play Fortnite, right? You play Fortnite or whatever, like whatever, right? So that whole gaming aspect, gaming PCs and gaming monitors and stuff like that, that's just more of a word that they throw in front of the computer part just to get you to entice to buy, right? But if you're coming from console gaming, you need to know what you're actually trying to do. So my recommendation is, one, figure out what is your plan. Two, okay, so let's say hypothetically, let's go over it real quick. Let's say, okay, I'm not trying to do no streaming, I'm not trying to do no VR. What type of PC I want to do? I want to just go ahead and buy a pre-built, right? I want to go out and just buy a standard pre-built. I don't care. I'm not trying. I only got a certain budget, maybe $1,000. What is a great PC I need to buy right off the bat without losing my whole fortune to buying just a strict standard gaming PC? So, okay, now if you're looking for a standard PC, just a regular standard PC, you can get the iBuyPower Y40 gaming desktop liquid cool AMD Ryzen 7 with a 7700 with an NVIDIA RTX 4070 12 gig. Now, again, there's a lot to it. You got the 12 gig graphics card and you got a 16 graphics card. Okay, so a 12 gig graphics card is only going to get you up to a point where, hey, you're hitting the top there, and the graphics card and the VRAM is not pushing out, and your games are going to slow down, especially if you try to go from low settings to high settings. So a lot of nuances. But if you're just not trying to do no VR gaming, you're not trying to do no streaming, no nothing. Hey man, again, I buy power. AMD Ryzen 7700 with a 4070 12 gig. You could, and that's about $1,000 max, right? Let's say you don't got $1,000, you want to do a little bit lower than that. Okay, you can get the target the Crosshair Vengeance with a 7500. Well, that's probably like $1,100 with a 4060. 32 gigs of RAM, so you can get a 4060. 4060s are frowned upon, right? They're frowned upon in the gaming market because of, you know, really the price when it first came out. But anyway, you can if you're just starting out bare minimum standard, you can start out with a 4060. Hell, even a 3080 you could do pretty good with just a 3080, right? But that's pre-built, right? Now, if you're trying to build your own PC, and you've never done it before. First of all, let me just say this: I recommend pre-built. I recommend pre-built because one, if you're coming from gaming consoles and you have no idea what the crap you're doing, you're new to this, you don't know nothing about gaming PC and anything like that. I personally recommend pre-built. It's a lot easier. You could just literally pick up the litter, pick out what you want, buy it. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Of course, and then later on, once you get more familiar with PC gaming, you can go ahead and change out the RAM, go ahead and change out the power supply, go ahead and change out the graphics card, go ahead and change out the CPU. In my opinion, pre-built is the way to go if you're coming from console gaming because you don't have to worry about trying to do this and what motherboard should I get, what this and this, But if you are if you are going to do a pre-build, a lot of people do pre-builds. I'm not mad at. I just personally don't do pre-builds. But if you are going to do pre-builds, that will, if you got the money to do if you got the money to do a pre-build, you could actually take your time and sort out the type of power supply. You can sort out the type of motherboard. You can sort out the type of. You could just buy stuff in specs. Where okay, I'm gonna buy this today. I'm gonna buy this tomorrow. I could do more research on the type of items I'm buying. Right. So if you are doing a pre-built, you can actually take more time to actually figure out what you're going to put inside your PC versus a pre-built, which whatever you get is what you get pretty much. So especially if you don't have that budget, right? So yeah, you need to figure out what genre you're going towards, right? So if you're doing VR gaming, right, PC VR gaming, you're going to need a hefty PC, whether that's pre-built or building your own. You're still going to need a hefty machine. Now, I recommend if you're going to straight VR gaming on let's say you got the Meta Quest or you got another headset, and I'm just doing PC VR gaming. I'm not doing nothing else, and I'm streaming. Okay, you're going to need at least first of all, you're going to need an i7. i7 or i9, period. No, do not get in the comments, talk about i5. You're going to need an i7 or an i9, right? You can do the i9 1200K, you can do the i7 1200K, the 1300K. You can do stuff like that. You can do the i9 starting out with a 1200K or KF, all right, for the overclock. Or, now RAM, you can get away with, let's talk about RAM for a second. You can get away with 16 gigs. You're going to do a minimum of 16 to 32 gigs. Now, 32 gigs is high. 32 gigs is like the max. Now, on my PC, I have a 64 gig of DDR, I think it's 5 or 6. One of them RAM, all right? So, you're going to at least need a 16 gig to 32 gig of just the newest RAM you can get, right? CPU, again, i7 or i9. If you're just doing VR gaming, you're going to need about graphics cards you're going to need to be pushing. I'm going to be honest with you. For graphics cards to do straight VR gaming, you're going to need a 4080. You're going to need a 4080. Also, you're going to need 4 terabytes or 2 terabytes of fast SSD to run to do like Steam VR and stuff like that. So you're looking in a higher end if you're doing VR gaming plus streaming. Now, if you're just doing in the middle, right? Let's say you're not into VR, you're just doing, hey man, I just want to play AAA titles and I want to stream, right? Now, if you just want to do AAA titles and you want to stream without doing VR and stuff like that, you can do a 4070, 4080, a 3090, i7, i9. You can push an i5. You could probably do an i5 with a 3090. That will work. AAA titles. Now, you may can do high settings on that. I don't know about ultra, but you could probably do high settings. Now, your CPU is gonna take a hit hard. That's why I recommend an i7 or i9, because if you got an i5 with a 3090 like I had, my CPU was, I mean, it wasn't no room left. So that's why I recommend an i7 or i9. But yeah, so pre-built or building, I personally recommend pre-builts, but I will say if you do build your own PC, you can actually take your time. You can take your time with pre-builts, but again, whatever it comes with is what it comes with, and if you just gotta just pretty much at that point, if you ain't got a lot of money, you gotta just get what you can get, right? But if you are going to personally build your own PC, it gives you more time to figure out what you want. It gives you more research to do what you want. So, but I recommend pre-built for your very first time. But I hope you like this video. Smash that like button, subscribe button. I will catch you guys next video. Peace.